Okay, fingers crossed this freeware software will actually work properly this time. But anyway, like I was intending to allude to in the intro video, that I've been meaning to do this for a while. I've had a ton of stuff in my head that I wanted to just get out there in some form or other, and because I'm a lazy bastard, I just haven't. But I was reading the latest well, not really the latest, it's a few weeks old, and again, it's took me this long to get around to doing it, but I was reading the latest Games TM, as you can see there, with the Heavy Rain cover, and inevitably it was the Heavy Rain article that brought me to this, because I have to admit, I was a big fan of Fahrenheit, or Indigo Prophecy if you're like in one of the other territories. But I absolutely loved that game, and as everyone says, it did fall apart at the end, as David Cage has said on many occasions in his interviews since then. The ending was rushed, and yeah, it would. Let's not get into that. The game itself was really good, and there's probably my point here is what really makes an adult game, because I mean, gaming still not that old as the other mediums, and this is all going to be rehashed stuff that many people have talked about before, but what the hell, fuck it. But it's still trying to find its feet, and there are very few, properly, in my mind, adult games. I mean, I've got a selection of the ones that are supposedly adult in my mind, and there's like Grand Theft Auto, Vice City Stories, criminally still haven't played it yet, but I mean I enjoyed the original Vice City, unlike the other Grand Theft Autos, but that is a well-known adult game and gets tons of press coverage, mostly bad, but from gaming media, mostly good. There's Yakuza, just that's another one, brilliant game, mostly adult because the violence, I hate to say it, but guilty pleasure of mine, like the Leisure Suit Larry, it was awful, awful game. But it does make me laugh. And then there's stuff like Mad World, again, I've not played, but it's adult for the violence again. And Eco, which I'm pretty sure it's rated 3+, but I would deem this an adult game because, well, from what I've heard criminally, I still haven't played that either. But my point is, with Fahrenheit, let me start over. Grand Theft Auto, just it very good game. I haven't enjoyed a lot of the series, but critically, very good game. But it's adult in a very kiddie, childish sort of most part. I would imagine its audience is 15-year-olds, but it's rated 18. I mean, I know that's really not true. I'm a complete hypocrite. I will talk over myself, etc. That's just what I do. But yeah, very kiddie, not really. It's a lot of just violence and just adult type jokes. It's like the shows you sometimes see on American cable that just have a character who will swear all the time just because we're allowed to. The Grand Theft Auto series has always struck me as that kind of game. Whereas something along the lines of, well, there was a big Mass Effect controversy, was it last year or is it even longer ago now? I seriously can't remember. But yeah, that had that whole stupid controversy about the sex scene, which, for those of you that have seen it, no, I mean I have. It's like a second and a half, if that, and it's in a completely out of context. I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as the amount of violence that are in, well, even that game, and other games that were in that pile. But it was just that 1.5 seconds that got everyone stirred up, and like I said, it doesn't compare to the amount of violence that was in it or any other game rated on the same level. What was my point? That was my point. But it treated it in a very adult way, like the relationship between the characters. Okay, it's very in some ways simplistic, but you had to evolve the relationship. You had to actually think like an adult. You had to like it was proper interaction rather than just these characters are going to go have sex, which is pretty much how it happens in Leisure Suit Larry. Just like simple couple of hoops and you can go have sex. And well, Fahrenheit tried to do this, and it did very well in many respects. Just the incident with the ex coming round, you could lead that into the bedroom, and just like it wasn't just for titillation's sake. It was actually, if that was how you would feel as that character, if you reacted in certain ways, you were able to move into that direction. But it wasn't an essential part. The bit towards the end, yes, you couldn't avoid that, I don't think. But it was very creepy and gross, by the way. But like that wasn't the focal point of it. It was just part of the story. It was like an evolution. It was almost necessary for the story rather than just titillation for titillation's sake. I'm saying that word way too much. And this is where I hope like games like Heavy Rain and the continuing Mass Effect trilogy, etc., are going to actually lead to more stuff like this, because it's something I feel is really needed. I mean, I reading that Heavy Rain article like really completely against my what I've been trying to do, because lately I've tried to go on media blackouts for anything that's remotely interesting to me, because I'm fed up of reading spoilers everywhere and having the entire thing spoiled before I've had a chance to enjoy like the particular parts, or just I want to go into these things completely blind and just either enjoy it or not. That's all I want. So I've been trying to avoid as much Heavy Rain coverage as possible, because I knew it was from the makers of Fahrenheit. They were going to try and rectify their mistakes, and it would hopefully be better. And while I haven't spoiled too much of the story about reading the article, I'm still a bit annoyed with myself. But from what I read, what they're trying to do, it's a good step. That's all it is. It's just a good step in the right direction. Just actually having a proper, genuine adult thing, not just having guns everywhere, just loads of violence because we can be 18. Like once you get over the 18, just doing it for the sake of doing it. This doesn't seem to be it. It seems to be just doing things like this because the story warrants it, and there isn't enough games that do that. I mean, thankfully there's still the adventure genre like coming back on the PC. I mean, still countless games that I'm meaning to try out that might satisfy me. That's a very, very bad word to use in this. That will. How can I say this without coming across as a complete sleaze? I'm not really sure that I can, but just not be kiddie and like be a mature game rather than an 18 rated game or a 16 rated game or a 15 rated. Just be a mature game. Doesn't matter what the rating is, whether it has swear words or not, whether it has loads of violence or not. Something mature. That's what I really hope we're heading for now. And that was a complete load of nonsense. That was complete rubbish. And I really should plan these things out more in my head before I put on the headset and hit record. But what the hell? First proper video, and no one's going to be watching it anyway, so what the hell? Anyway, that's me done. Woo. Video 1 for proper.